Emojis, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 15 things that I wish I knew before I became a gymnast. So just for reference, I'm a silver XCEL gymnast, so about level 3 to 4, and I started gymnastics when I was, I think, between the ages of 10 and 11. These are just things that I wish I would have known because they would have been helpful to know sooner. Let's just get right into it. First thing is you are going to be in a lot of pain all of the time. So you're going to get sprains constantly. I have sprained my wrists and my ankles, mainly my ankles, literally countless times. A whole ton. That was my washer. So you are going to get rips and blisters and calluses on your hands a lot from bars. Even if you have grips, you can still get rips and calluses and stuff. I can't tell if you see, I don't know if you can see, but I have like two kind of like scar or like calluses over where I get rips a lot. Are very prone to warts on your hands and really anywhere on your body because you are using, you know, all this equipment that other people have been using and little kids are using and everything. 2 is conditioning. So I had no idea really what conditioning was. I didn't know how intense it could be. So if you're just in rec classes, it shouldn't be too intense. But if you're on like team classes, it can be very intense. So 3 is mental blocks. Okay, these are kind of hard to explain without actually having one, but mental block is when you're up there, you're about to do a skill and you know you can do it, you know your body can do it, you've done this a million times before, or maybe you've never done it at all, but you know that you have the capability to do it and your mind won't let you. It doesn't sound that hard, it's just like, oh, just go for it. Like, it's not that simple. I have had a mental block on back handsprings for like, I don't know, 2 years. I'm finally starting to get a little bit over it. Thank you to all my teammates and coaches for helping me. But I had a mental block with squat-ons recently, and it's just like, I'm up there on the bar and I'm like, I know I can do this. I competed this. Why can't I do it? And it happens a lot after you fall. 3 is how much leotards cost. I did not understand, like I never thought that they would cost this much, but leotards can cost anywhere from $30 to $90 for one leotard. My leotards typically cost $40 to $60 because I usually get the leotards that are in my gym because they are really high quality and I like them, but it's just like, they're really, really expensive if you want a good quality one. Even like little kids can be like 20 to 50 sometimes, so you know, just kind of be aware of that. And same with like spandex shorts, they can be kind of spendy too. 5 is grip cost. Grips cost a lot of money, so I don't remember how much my grips cost, but they can, if you're getting practice grips, which is where it's just kind of more fabric than leather, I think they're anywhere from like $30 to $100. If you're getting real leather grips, it can be anywhere from like $50 to $200. And then you'll have to get a new set every, I don't know, year maybe. I still haven't had to get a new one. Mine are still fine. But 6, which is kind of, you know, say on the same topic, is breaking in grips. It is very, very confusing and nobody told me how it would feel to be breaking them in. And like, I watched so many videos and everyone would just be like, oh, it's hard to break them in, but just keep doing skills. Like, but no one actually told me what it was like and what it felt like to break in grips. So when I had my grips and I put them on for this time, they were super, super stiff. So I'm not gonna get them right now, but I'm sure you can find some videos. But for the very first time, you wanna spray them down with water and then you like fold it in a way that will be, it's hard, just look up like how to store grips or something and I'm sure it'll come up. But you want to do that for the first time and then let them sit like that for a little bit because the water will help to mold the leather and that will make it a lot easier to break them in. And then when you're on the bars, it will feel like really stiff and like you can't do anything, and I couldn't do a back hip circle with them for a really long time. So I recommend going to open gym if you can and not your class, because if you go use them at your class, you're not going to really be able to do any skills because you're just breaking them in. So what I did is I went to an open gym and I just did like pullovers, and then I do like a front hip circle off, and then I do like some casts or I do some tap swings on the lower high bar. And when you have your grips, will sometimes be like some fabric, well not really fabric, but the leather that kind of gets pinched up right here and you're on the bar. That is normal. I was really confused about it, and so I had to go and I had to ask someone there who was like really, like, I don't know, she looked like platinum or maybe even diamond. So I asked her and she said like, yeah, that's normal. So I'm telling you that that's normal because I had no idea. I thought there was something wrong with my grips, like I got the wrong size. But you know, if they start sliding up and there's like some leather pinched like here or anywhere like that while you're on the bar, that's normal. You just kind of have to get used to it. 7 is the pressure that is put on you, mainly at mainly at competition, but also in practice. Sometimes if you get put in with some teammates, like if you have teammates that like aren't super nice, all my teammates are nice, but in the past I've had teammates that were not very encouraging to me, and they would like yell at me if I was going too slow, or they'd yell at me like, oh, just come on, do the skill, it's not that hard, like I can do it easily, you can just go for it, when I had mental blocks and stuff. And that puts, like, when I'm in there, there's been so many times. So when I had a mental block on my squat, I was on the bar and I was about to go for my squat, and then my teammate behind me just yelled at me and was like, oh, just do it. And then I froze and I couldn't do it. Like, I was about to do it. It's really hard to explain unless you know the feeling, but most my fellow gymnasts, you know the feeling when you're doing it, and like, oh, this is the cast that's gonna get me over. And she yelled at me, and then I couldn't do it for like a month. So, and also at like meets, even if your coaches and your teammates and stuff don't put pressure on you, you still feel a lot of pressure to like be the best and get like the highest medal. So even if you don't get any medals, like you'll still feel like you let yourself down, kind of. It's really hard to explain, but you just have to kind of get over it and see that there are many other things than being sad about it. So you just kind of have to ignore it, basically. 8 is soreness, which I kind of already explained this, but there's been times when I am so sore, like I literally cannot walk, I can't get out of bed. I've had to use crutches sometimes. And one time I got rug burn on my knee and I couldn't walk for a few days because it was so bad. Like really sore. If you're new to bars, you'll get sore like around your hips and like lower hips from casting on the bar. I still get bruises, and I've been doing bars for 2 years. 9 is scars. So you will get a lot of scars, and some people don't really like scars. I have, you'll get scars on your hands. I have a scar from my wart, and I have 2 scars from blisters. And I have a scar, it's a little bit faded now, but a little circle, I don't know if you can see it, that's from doing a tuck jump on beam, and I went a little bit to the side, and my whole side got like skinned, and this hit it, and it started bleeding, and yeah, it's scarred. 10 is competitions and how deductions work. So I had no idea that competitions were so strict. So for example, if you're at a competition, deductions are super strict. Also keep in mind that I compete in Minnesota, and I'm pretty sure Minnesota is the hardest judge state for Minnesota. So these things might be a little bit easier for you, but for me, if you have, you have your hair pulled back, and there's even just like a little flyaway, that's a deduction. If your bra strap shows, that's a deduction. If your underwear like strap shows, that's a deduction. If your hair is like not up enough, it's a deduction. If you're not smiling, it's a deduction. Like every single little thing is a deduction, and you just have to get used to it. Nail polish is a deduction. I'm pretty sure makeup is a deduction. You can't wear shorts, like spandex shorts. I don't think it's a deduction because you can't. At least where I compete, you literally can't wear them when you're competing, which I don't like a lot. You have to be super careful and make sure if you're having like your first competition or even like your 20th competition, ask your coach about like what you should do for competition and what like the strict deductions are. 11 is starting late. So I started really late in gymnastics. A lot of people start when they like are first able to walk in like mommy and me classes. If you're starting late, do not give up. I know it's weird that when you're in rec classes and you're gonna be with like a lot of people that are younger than you. I can't talk today. So when I was like 11, 12, I was in the rec classes before I got on team. I was with girls that were like 4, 5, 6, and some were like 7, 8, 9, but most of them were like really young, and it's kind of awkward to be with them when you're like so much older and you have the same, if not less, skills than them. And sometimes they'll be mean about it, but I have made a lot of good friends that are a lot younger than me, but they don't really care that I'm like older because I told them like they understand how I started late. And just I have been discouraged so many times because I started late, but like there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go back in time and start, so you might as well just right now forget about it and just keep going. Because if you keep being discouraged and just stay right here being like, oh, I'm never gonna get anywhere, then you're gonna be even older. It's gonna be even harder to go. So just ignore you being older. If anyone makes fun of you for it, ignore it. Like all the girls on gold are like older than me, and gold is the next one to silver. So, they probably start a little bit late too. So just don't worry about it. If you're starting late, just don't focus on it at all. 12 is overall cost and meet fees. So a lot of people know that gymnastics is a very, very expensive sport. Lessons are very expensive. Doing team is very expensive, but meet costs are outrageous, like really. So at least for me, I had to get a subscription, not really a subscription, but I don't know what to call it, to like the USA Gymnastics, like the official thing, so I'd be able to compete. And it was like a lot of money, and each competition you have to pay for it, and then you have to pay parking sometimes, and you have to pay tickets to get in. Not the gymnasts, but the parents and stuff have to pay to get in. And then, you know, you have the team leotards, you have the team jackets, you have the team backpacks and the slides, anything. Those are optional, but like the leotard and jackets are what's it called, like mandatory, is that the word? I don't know, like you have to get them. But like the backpack and slides and stuff like that, those are optional, but usually people get them. I got the backpack. I didn't get any shoes or anything, but I did get the backpack. I do recommend getting a backpacker bag to put all your stuff in. 13 is the commitment it takes. It really takes up your whole life, mainly if you do team. If you do classes, not really, but if you do team, it's basically gonna take up your whole entire life, which I'm fine with because I love gymnastics with like all my heart. It's my favorite thing to do. It's definitely like the sport I was made to do. But sometimes it's like kind of hard because there's a lot of things that you can't participate in because you're in gymnastics. You know, you have to, like, for friends that aren't in gymnastics, you'll have to explain to them, and, you know, like, I can't just skip a practice to like have a sleepover with you tonight. I have to go to practice, and sometimes they'll get mad at you for it. I don't think that's ever happened to me, but I've heard a lot of other of my gymnast friends, their friends will be mad at them because they can't skip practice or something and stuff, you know, which also kind of goes in the next one, which is 14 being the only sport. It's pretty much the only sport you can do once you get higher. I have a teammate who does like 7 sports right now, including gymnastics, which is fine, but she skips a lot. So if you need to be committed, if you're competing, do not go out and do other sports. Like, if you want to do another sport, then quit gymnastics. Not trying to be mean or anything, but like, it's very frustrating when you're at a competition and a whole bunch of your teammates are gone because they had a softball tournament or a volleyball game or something, or if they were sick, which isn't really their fault, but if the more sports you're in, the more you're exposed to germs, the more like you're gonna get sick. And lastly, number 15 is the friends you'll make. Gymnastics can be very intimidating sometimes, but the friends you'll make is totally worth it. I've made so many friends that I know are gonna be with me for like a lifetime. My whole team, I just know, like, we are all so close. And actually, I'm wearing a bracelet that my teammate gave me. It's the one right there that says Penny, and she's the one that I'm like really, really close to. There's a few that I'm like super close to, but I'm pretty close to all of them. So just basically, just the friends you'll make is worth it. The feeling of getting this, like, the skills and finally, you know, being like getting to a point that you never thought you were. Like, if younger me, if 5-year-old me knew that I was a silver XCEL gymnast competing on team, she would literally die. She would flip out, because my dream as a child was always to be on a team and to compete and get medals and like be able to do stuff other than a cartwheel. And now I'm here. It's just like, that's just, the feeling is amazing. But having like those lifetime friends that you can like always rely on is even better than that. So that is all 15. So I hope this really helped you guys if you're thinking about going into gymnastics, or if you're already in gymnastics and you just wanted to watch this. I hope this helped you guys, because these are definitely things that I would have wanted to know before I went into gymnastics. I'm still glad I went into it, but just, you know, these would have been helpful to kind of be aware of and to be expecting. So if you guys have any other questions related to gymnastics, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I am willing to answer. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!